Hello, this is Todd Luck, and the trailer for Masters of the Universe Revolution, which is coming to Netflix on January 25th, has finally dropped, and we're going to do a quick breakdown of some highlights that are in the trailer. Just like they did with Revelation, Netflix is being very upfront about just about everything that's going to happen, it looks like, in Revolution, and that includes the death of King Randor. And this is familiar territory if you've been keeping up with like the classics, bios, and the comics. And once again, Adam will have to choose whether he's going to rule as Adam or He-Man. So we do get a glimpse at Too Bad, who will become a cyborg during the series. We also get a great look at Rio Blast, first time in animation, and we get another look at Snout Spout. And then, of course, we finally get our look at Hordak's main lieutenants. We've got Leech, we've got Grizzlor, and closest to you is Mantana, who is doing his best Gene Simmons impression. Not sure what's up with the tongue, but he looks a little too excited in that scene. And here is Mantana with his tongue in his mouth. And he's also got a Horde crossbow, which is a nice touch. Obviously, that comes with the figures. And we have another look at the Horde troopers behind him. And here's my man Grizzlor looking all badass, looks straight out of the toy line. Now, we don't see Modulok or some of the later Hordsmen, but they could certainly be in there. They may just not be in the trailer. And a little bit of Hordak on Skeletor action. A close look at their costumes leads me to believe this is probably a flashback or a scene set in the past, when Skeletor was Hordak's apprentice. And here's a great close-up of Hordak himself. Notice the red pixels on the left and right side of the screen. I think this is probably from Cyborg Skeletor's point of view, or something that he's remembering, something in his memory banks. We also got to see Duncan in his new Man of War armor leading the forces against the Horde fleet, and it looks really awesome. We get all these Wind Raiders going up against the fleet, and we actually get to see the flagship, which is amazing. In the old She-Ra cartoon, Horde Prime, who was over Hordak, had a flagship called the Velvet Glove, and so I don't know if that's an updated version of that. But regardless, it looks awesome. And if you look down below, we can see Castle Grayskull converted into a Horde castle, corrupted with the technology of Motherboard. And we do get to see Granomir in his battle armor. He is wearing his iconic helmet, or an updated version of that, even has the horns. And we do get to see Granomir will see some action and be kicking some butt. And Gwildor and Orko joined the fight as well, and this is our first time seeing Gwildor for the series, and his first time in animation. He's a character from the live-action movie, and he looks awesome. And they also confirm Evil Lyn is back. Well, she's on the side of the good guys, so she's Good Lyn, Chaotic Neutral Lyn, whatever she'll be called. I'm glad they're following up on her again. And notice that she has what appears to be Hordak's Havoc staff. And yes, Teela does become the Green Goddess. It appears she gets snake magic from Granomir. And yes, they did do this in the comics, but in Revelation, they did a great job of taking those ideas that had already been done in the comics and doing something really good with them. And I expect it to be true here as well. And notice when we see her in action, she's not just using a snake staff, but she's also using her normal bird staff. So I don't think that this is going to be a permanent change. I think she'll be able to change back. And unlike in the comics, I don't think the Green Goddess will change Teela's personality or will lose her as a character. I think they've spent too much time building her character and her relationship to Adam to lose it now. And we get to see what looks like some kind of final form for He-Man and Skeletor. I assume this is their take on King He-Man, but I think it looks fantastic. This is essentially a brand new look, but it pays a lot of tributes to different things. He's got a tech upgrade on his power sword. I love the red and gold. And here's King Skeletor. Notice his face no longer has any cybernetics on it. And notice he's sporting terror claws, but you're not going to see it in the next shot, so I think his hands can change shape. And look at that cape on He-Man. That's got to be a tribute to the live-action movie, and I love it. And notice even though Skeletor has restored his body and does have the crown, so he's king, that the Horde fleet is still there. So hopefully that means the Horde will be a major player in this season, and it's not going to be something that's just done away with in order to just focus on He-Man and Skeletor fighting each other. And there was a brief glimpse at this gruesome scene, which does appear to be Keldor getting his face melted off. This is one of the later origins for Skeletor. Revelation went back to an earlier origin where he was a demon from another dimension that had a skull for a head. Notice the red pixels on the sides of the screen again. And my guess again is that this indicates that this is happening inside of Cyborg Skeletor's head, maybe a memory. In the current wave of Masterverse figures, on the back of the packaging, there is a figure called King Keldor, and this is a figure that's not out yet and you can't even order it. This has led to speculation that Keldor would appear in Revolution and that they would change the origin for Skeletor they gave him in the Revelation tie-in comics a few years ago. If you watch my review of Masters Universe Forge of Destiny #2, you know there were hints of that in this issue, but I kind of dismissed it as just a bad inside joke. I didn't think they would put a tease for a spoiler in a miniseries that's not even a tie-in for Revolution. This is set in the same continuity, but it was never an official tie-in to Revolution or even Revelation. It was just happened to be set in the same timeline. And speaking of inside references, I want to say I was probably wrong about the image you're seeing right here in my analysis on the teaser trailer. I thought this was probably the faces on Snake Mountain. And after watching the analysis from For Eternia, they pointed out that that face looks like the wolf's face on the Towers of Eternia. And I think that is 100% correct. And I think that is probably Preternia being formed again and them restoring heaven as a resting place for their fallen warriors. All right, so that's my breakdown. Please, if you're a fan of Masters Universe, you're a fan of Revelation, you got something out of this video, leave a comment in the comment section below. If you guys don't speak up, other people will fill that space. Please, please, please comment on everything you can about Revelation. If you're a fan of Masters Universe, let's fill the space with the comments of fans, good, bad, or indifferent. And just remember, there's going to be a lot of misinformation out there. Please keep to your reliable sources, Mattel, Netflix, Kevin Smith, guys who are working on the show. If you're looking for a fan site that's reliable, follow For Eternia. They have a great YouTube channel. You're looking for toy news, follow Mattel. And for fans, you can follow guys like Pixel Dan or Geek Dad Life. There's a lot of people in the fan base, but just be careful because there are a lot of people who aren't, who like to spread misinformation. All right, I cannot wait until January 25th, and I will absolutely be doing a review of Masters Universe Revolution when it comes out. So like and subscribe for more videos. And until next time, good journey.